Okay, so now the mass media's influence, the fourth estate of the realm, and the ethics of the practice, as characterized by the press watchdog role in monitoring the conduct of government officials and the people, is assumed to be vital to democracy. But now the question is, with what appears like a divided house, it appears like a divided house, is the Nigeria Union of Journalists able to stay true to its role?
Question mark.
There are those who have asked questions and are concerned that journalism in Nigeria is not as professional as it used to be. I mean, no longer do journalists hold the government accountable and the people accountable as well, but journalists are now looking for how to survive. Is that what's the problem? Well, I don't have this. Today, we are not journalists. Today, we have journalists that will talk to us and to the people. Tell us what's going on in their house. Hello, right?
Yes, very correct.
Okay, so joining us this morning, we have Mr. Kazeem Akinwetu, Chairman, NUJ Lagos.
Good morning.
Urban, beside him is Precious Igbowelendu, a journalist with the Nation newspaper.
Thank you very much.
Also here is Lekon Otufodunri, media career development expert.
Thank you.
Joining us. And Shekinat Lawal, chairperson, Women Journalists, Lagos.
It's a pleasure being here.
Welcome. I'll not ask that chairman. I'll ask this chairperson. Tell us what's going on. Why does it look like the house of the NUJ is divided?
Exactly. Because as members of the fourth estate of the realm, we're expected to be above board because we're supposed to play the role of a watchdog of the society. We're supposed to be the conscience of the nation. But in a situation where we have those who are supposed to be at the leadership of the union now being immersed in fraudulent acts, then it's going to be very difficult to truly play that role as the watchdog of the society. We have a situation of an housing project being put in place for members of this union in Lagos, running to almost 150 million naira, and we have the so-called leadership of the union mismanaged the fund. And here we are, the union leadership cannot even punish those who are involved. How do we go about this? When we have election into the leadership position of our union, and we have people from the Ministry of Information who have almost ×2 number of those from the core media houses controlling the professional body. How do we criticize the government? For instance, in Lagos there 3 days ago, during the Nigerian Association of Women Journalists election, the number of women from the core media houses in Lagos is not up to 100, and we have the Ministry of Information with PROs and some other people there running to like 300. It means that it is the ministry that is controlling, because it is whoever they want to be there that will be there. So how do we play our role as the watchdog of the government?
Okay, all right, let me bring it to another lady. Tell us what the situation is.
I think the situation is it's broad and very worrisome. It's disturbing. Aside what she has mentioned, there are other issues. You have, let me say for the election she talked about, you have a credentials committee that was inaugurated by Congress, by the women journalists. Then you have a president, the national president of NUJ, who is currently immersed in fraud of running into about 150 million of journalist money, setting aside this particular committee, and now foisting the people she feels who do her bidding as committee to superintend or to supervise an election process. Then this committee, the issues really for me, this committee came on board. There were recommendations by members. We are the members. We are the women. We recommended debates. They said they were not interested in the debates. That anybody, they sent a circular, any candidate that participated in the debate will be disqualified. I wonder where that is done. We are journalists. We used to organize live debate for politicians. So why in our own election we are now recommending that let these people that want to govern us, they should come and tell us what they have. We want to know their vision. We have issues. We have pending fraud issues. I am a subscriber. I'm interested in knowing the outcome of a project I invested my money. If you want to come and lead me, come and tell me what you're going to do to ensure that I get my money back. And the committee is saying, if you take part in that debate, I will disqualify you. Okay, then there were also issues. The constitution of the NUJ, because the NUJ does not have a constitution. The constitution of the NUJ stipulates that for anybody to be qualified to vie for any position in the NUJ, you must have met 50%, at least 50% attendance of congresses. And you also must be from a reporter to an editor of the print media, from a news manager in the broadcast section, and specifically for the ministries, for the Ministry of Information, that you must be a director. You must be a director of information. Then this credentials committee, you have these facts. You know that these people that are coming, this person is not a director, and you decided to set aside the constitution to allow, to pave way for these people. You know that this person does not meet the constitutional requirements for this particular election. Then when we start raising questions, you become irritant, and you show obvious disdain.
All right, Precious. We'll just take a moment. When we come back, we'll bring in the gentlemen. They've kept quiet so far. We'll bring in, let's look at how things are going within the House of the NUJ. Please join us again. Welcome back. We're still looking at the Nigeria Union of Journalists. Is the House divided and the way forward? Dr. Akinwetu, you've heard some of the things that the two ladies have mentioned. Mismanagement of group resources, interference by government, or seeming interference by government, operating outside of the constitution of the NUJ and all of that. Does this point to a divided house? What's going on that is shaking this house?
Well, thanks very much. First of all, let me just make two clarifications. One, the NUJ is very how divided in itself. The NUJ is under what I can call in Lagos the process of re-engineering, a process of rebuilding, and a process of bringing back that trust. Because that's how I won the election. And I say we are bringing integrity back to the union. And that is exactly what we are doing. The second thing I also need to clarify is that there was an election of the women's wing on Thursday. And as I was told, because I was not there, I chose ad initio from part of my own principles that I'm not going to participate in the process. Because we have an issue over, aspects of the Constitution, which obviously from what we had issues in Ondo State. So remember, went to court, industrial court. And so the court ruled that the State Council can no longer bring up members of credentials committee. So it's the national that will do that right now. So before they come to supervise the elections, but now the court overturned that election there. And then we had another election in Ondo State. And I called the president that we need to appeal this because it has to do with the Constitution of the Union. But the case was not appealed. So I've been from that time, for me, my position has been that, we need to rework that Constitution itself so that it can bring that part of integrity, back to the union. And so that was what I need to make those two clarifications. So anything about that election, I'm not going to make a comment on that. I've been issued. Because it's also subject to litigation now. The simple thing we learned about media law, that when there are issues in court, obviously there's no point in making comment on that. Then I also go to the issue of mismanagement that you talked about. I said the process I began when I emerged was to see how we can clean up the house. And obviously those two women were all part of that. They were subscribers to that project that has failed. But it's evident to everyone that we instituted an in-house, inquiry, that found people culpable. And we send that report to the National Executive Council of the NUJ. And those that are found culpable, I mean, we came at that, let us wait for the outcome of investigation by the EFCC, before they can be fully sanctioned. That's what the next is. But as you proceed, and cancel that project, with that done, it gets a country surveyor to also quantify the extent of the work done in that place. And that we are also that in that process. And those two women have also gone to court, to the ADR. About yesterday we were the ADR, and then the ADR said the matter should go back, to regular court. So that's where we are, trying to do the cleanup. Yeah.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
This matter could not be resolved in-house. You had to bring in EFCC?
Well, some of our members, because by virtue of the constitution of the union cannot take members to court. But individuals on their own could go to court. And that's exactly what they have done. And what the union can do is, like the union was part of the, what they call it, the appellant or plaintiff, we are just joined the suit and I had to go there. Even though, series of effort had been done about that issue from when I took over. Part of it was to reallocate the land to our members, which are done. And we're talking about almost 1,000 plots, reallocate the plot back to our members. Because I believe that can be double jeopardy. You lose the land,
that suggests that the land was sold to other people who were not women journalists, who were not journalists.
Absolutely, that was part of what happened. And what I did is just to do is stratification. Who are those that are our members, who are journalists? And who are those that are not journalists, who bought the land? And so I've been able to do that. And so I'm giving back first to our members who are journalists. And we have done about over 1,000.
And there was no uproar from those to whom the land was sold?
No, not at all. And we had a very, very, convivial thing with the landowner who we bought the land for, and they were cooperating. So that had been settled. The issue of that land, reallocation had been settled. The other one that was not settled is the money that were collected from members and non-members by former administration. And I've tabled it before the NEC, and the NEC has said, yes, this money has to be, paid back, but they are waiting for the outcome of the
investigation. Hold on. Did everybody who paid money towards the land get the land?
Absolutely, they are getting it now.
All of them?
So everyone.
You got your land back?
Everyone gets it back. I have who are part and parcel. Because that's the problem that I want to explain to you. There are two things that are involved.
Yeah.
Some people got involved in that project just to the Women National Union of Women Journalists project. Now, they are not initially part of those who bought the land of the NUJ. The NUJ came in to take over the NUJ land for their own project. And that was the first mistake. They should have gone to buy their own land separately and leave some of us with the original subscribers. They didn't do that. Yeah, so eventually what happened was that those that were not part of the NUJ original subscribers, what I met on the handing over note, some of them belong to what they call the labor land, So go and allocate the labor land, which was closer to the original land of the NUJ. Go and allocate it to them. But for my own members,
now NUJ members are also members of NUJ.
Exactly.
Yeah, yes, they are.
So the land is not even the problem. The lands are there.
Yeah, lands are there.
The lands are there. It's the money contributed by our members.
Yeah.
Because people contributed.
That you have got your land now. The contribution you made for the land, you have got the land.
The contribution is not for the land, It's for the housing project.
Yes.
Like an housing scheme,
for
mortgage.
the land initially.
They are paid for the land. So what I've done
The
is
money paid in dollars.
For the housing that will go on
Yeah.
the land.
There's something I need to clear. The land was also an issue.
In dollars? Yes, paid in dollars. We have $227,000 contributed by journalists in Lagos, which was withdrawn unapproved because the initial developer they brought happened to be a foreigner. When the national president of NUJ, and we have all the evidences, indicating that she withdrew the $227,000 without the approval of the former Lagos NUJ leadership. When we raised alarm over the unapproved withdrawal, we have all the evidences.
What did she say she withdrew the money for?
She initially denied it, that she didn't, nothing was of such.
Yeah, but
until they printed out the account statement to show it, then she started begging that no, they should let them sign the MOU, blah blah blah. We have all the evidences to show. Then they brought a local developer. The initial developer, they said, backed out. The reason members were not told. They brought a local developer, and when the people realized that this is
counterpart funding,
no, this is a known name. The local developer happens to be a royal, the leadership of that company happens to be a very known royal family in the southwest here. So people feel, no, these are people that would not want to drag their name in the mud. They wouldn't joke with journalist money. But at the end of the day, the national president claimed to pay 73 million to the local developer. And what we have on the land up till today is just 3 prototype.
Okay, please let me to just say here now that the national president was actually invited to this program to be part of this conversation, but she couldn't make it, said she was busy. Hopefully she will come in some other time. But let me come to you, Mr. Otsufodun. This entire matter, what does it speak? What do you think about the entire situation?
Well, I think it's very unfortunate that we that are supposed to be the watchdog are eating part of the mess, so to say. Ordinarily, this should have happened if we follow due process. The intention, depending on which one I'm referring to, regarding the land, the intention was noble. We have a situation in Lagos, for example, where we have a journalist estate by a former administration led by Funke Fadugba, which is very noble. I mean, a situation where people could own their houses and people are living there now. Based on that precedent, the other initiative, people plugged into it. Unfortunately, it failed. The good thing is that the new administration had gone to investigate. A report has been made, and it's been sent for, and there are even court cases over it. So, but the point you are making is that it is bad for the profession. It calls to question our integrity. And we are hoping that if all the layers of authorities concerned follow due process and they allow the law to take its course, this will be an opportunity to sanitize the house.
An opportunity to sanitize the house. Okay, with this, the back and forth, money is not accounted for, operating outside the Constitution and all of that. What, because right now we're looking at the way forward.
Okay.
So let me start from here. You were sounding really pained. What is the way forward?
I think the way forward is justice for subscribers and punishments. They should be, as a subscriber, I want my money refunded. And I also want sanctions for those who committed this fraud. Because I believe as a professional journalist, I won't have the moral grounds to hold the people in authority to account when in-house people who have committed such mind-boggling fraud are going about with this air of nothing can happen. Yeah. I am constituted authority. I will have my way. I can put whoever I want to put and nothing will happen. Let them go to EFCC. They will not we have been in EFCC for about 3 years or more. Investigation is stalled. So this air of they can't do anything, it is wasted, their money is gone, and even the association cannot punish me. There was a committee that was set up that recommended that those involved be banned from the association, that they should be sanctioned, they should be suspended for 10 years. Till today, nothing happened. A NEC committee was set up, and he also indicted them, and also suggested that the EFCC investigation, that because some of us went to EFCC, the association did not go. The State Council, the National or the national body, none of them did. Some of us agreed. We went to the EFCC.
Which he has said is part of the Constitution.
We went to the EFCC, and they went there from the national body to stop the EFCC investigation. Till today, we are not making headway. That was why we now had to, the lawyer now told us that from the agreement they signed with the contractors, there was an option that we have to, if there is dispute, we have to go through the arbitration panel.
Just clarify here. When you say from the national body, they went to the EFCC. The national body of NUJ, no, you said they went there to stop the investigation.
Yes.
So the national body that went to stop the...
Of the NUJ.
The national body of the NUJ or NAWAJ?
Of the NUJ, because the NAWAJ was, we petitioned the NAWAJ, those involved to the EFCC. They were invited by the EFCC. It was a national leader that went to bail them. Somebody went to bail them and told them that we are going to solve it in-house. So that was where we stopped.
Okay, all right. Dr. Akinreti.
You see, we shouldn't run through generalization or false statements here. I'm going to tell my colleagues, let's get our facts right. Number one, the national body did not go and bail any one of them out of authority. Never. You are entitled to an administrative bail. Like in the EFCC, when you get the EFCC. So whoever chose to come to your aid, it's not the business of yes to find out either you are an officer or not an officer, which that was not also true.
So whoever wasn't representing the NUJ National.
That's clear. That is clear. You see, we shouldn't run away without that kind of impression. And that's part of the reason why the election in Ogun, the candidate from Lagos, lost because people misrepresent facts. I was the DJ of that campaign committee. So let's put that one that none from national went there. Number two is I told you the issue of money. NEC has taken a decision, and I circulated the NEC decisions to our members. Ditto, this fellow that you have will be punished after due process, after a report from the EFCC.
An investigation that is stalled.
No, it's not stalled. No, you see, don't run illegal organization. We have written EFCC to reopen the case and give us a report we can take to NEC.
Why didn't NUJ do something before EFCC was brought in?
No, well, I wasn't part of that.
So this was before your time?
Before my idea.
Okay.
But when I took over the amount of leadership, these are one of the things I took up. I told you the first thing I campaigned for is the integrity of the union. And I reinvigorated virtually all aspects of all these, seemingly shenanigans or impunity. It's on record that I've gone through all that. I represented the matter to NEC, and we look at it, and we all agreed that, look, this is what we are going to do to the people. National body sent in a committee to look into the matter, and that has been resolved. We are now going to what the punishment they are asking for and their money, which obviously we are all agreed that we just have to settle the case. And the same thing that we also give back the land. The land has been given out. It's not the issue of repayment of the money. And that cannot be done by the union, except those who are involved. The company and those who are not involved are at the center of it all. And we are working through it.
All right.
So NEC has decided that these people will be punished after the due process.
3 years. 3 years down the line. Way forward,
yes.
3 years down the line, the leadership of the union has not been able to do anything. It's always been foot dragging. Even at the ADR yesterday, because part of the agreement in the MOU was that before you can go to the normal court, you have to go through the alternative dispute resolution of the Lagos State government. We were at the ADR yesterday, and the mediator was trying to say, fine, these subscribers have enough evidence to show that they have some money with the company and some of their leaders there. How can you people bring this money out? And their lawyers were like, no, they are waiting for us in the normal court.
Just in case,
they are waiting for us in the normal court.
We'll come back to you.
That the project is a failed project. And I said, fine, even if it's a failed project, are you going to tell us that like 150 million naira has been spent on just
way for, you have 30 seconds. What's the way forward?
That they have to bring the money with them. Both the company, sir, and our leaders, the so-called leaders, because we have evidence to show that they have the money with them.
All right, thank you. Thank you. And so to forward.
Way forward. Well, I think the way forward is to, like she said, let justice be done. Let's watch. I mean, we need to stop watching our dirty linen in the public, because we are in the eye of the public. We are supposed, we have trust. Journalism is based on trust. And when we do things like this, so the way forward is that whatever decision has been taken should be implemented. NEC has taken a decision. At the right time, they should be penalized. And we should put in system that will ensure that this like this does not happen again.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Kazeem Akinreti, Chairman, NUJ Lagos. Precious Igbonwelendu, Journalist in the Nation. Lekon Utufodurin, Media Career Development Expert. And Shekinat Lawal, Chairperson, Women Journalist Lagos. We do hope that this matter is quickly resolved as soon as possible. Thank you very much. Sunrise will be back in a moment. Please join us.